Okay, so it's looking like we potentially could be getting a Gervonta Tank Davis against Jake Paul fight for November on Netflix in an exhibition. Now, at this point, you really think you've seen it all. You really do. Jake Paul, of course, is a guy who's fought a heavyweight, but his last fight was at cruiserweight. He's, around 200 pounds. That's what he is, right? And then you've got Gervonta Davis, who is a lightweight. He has fought at super featherweight and has even fought as high as super lightweight at 140, but really is a 135 or 130er because he's not a big 135er at all. He's 5'5", a big puncher for 135, but not a big guy for 135 at all. And he's going to be fighting a Jake Paul who's all of 5'11", 6 foot, I believe, maybe even 6'1", who, like I said, who weighed in at his last fight for 199, which it's absolutely insane that these fights are even being talked about, in my opinion. We do know Jake Paul was previously in negotiations with Anthony Joshua, but apparently that's fell out. Network issues, they said. I'm not sure. I'm assuming they're meaning regarding distributors, but yeah, that seems to have fallen out. But due to obviously Anthony Joshua losing a number of fights at this point in his career and being a guy who's much more Jake Paul's size, that fight was seen as potentially could be competitive. I didn't think it would be. I think Anthony Joshua would smoke him in a couple of rounds, but that was seen as potentially a bit more competitive. Whereas now you're getting a guy who has knocked out guys, MMA fighters who were 170-pound fighters. Granted, they were old, but they were a lot bigger men than Gervonta Davis was. That being said, Gervonta Davis is a far better boxer than anyone Jake Paul's actually fought, but he's just going to be so much smaller than him. And I struggle to see a 135 man knocking out a 200-pound man. Right? I don't even know what weight division this would be at. Again, which would be a real problem because I don't think any of these guys could get at a catch weight. What's Gervonta Davis? What would Gervonta Davis have to weigh in at to potentially do a catch weight? If Jake Paul fights at 200 pounds, he's probably not going to get down much lower than 185, 180. And there ain't a way in God's green earth that Gervonta Davis is weighing at 180 pounds at 5'5". He'd be an absolute chode. He wouldn't be able to walk. Actually, wouldn't be that bad, but it'd be a problem. Right, 5'5", 180 pounds. That's crazy. Right, that is crazy. And at that sort of weight, I don't fancy Gervonta Davis to do much. I mean, he'll definitely pack a punch. With all that weight behind him, he'll definitely pack a punch, but he'll be so much smaller. Super weird. I almost don't even want to analyze this fight. Because it's just so crazy that we're getting a lightweight. Granted, a lightweight world champion who's in the prime of his career, who's got, a number of contenders that he could potentially fight, but seemingly has no interest in fighting those guys, but he's seemingly got some interest in fighting Jake Paul. It's all a bit crazy. And like I said, I almost don't even want to give a prediction because it's that wild, but yeah, I'd be curious to know what you guys think of this fight. Do you think this fight is actually going to get made? And if it does get made, who do you think wins it? Do you think Gervonta Davis knocks out Jake Paul? Or do you think Jake Paul's just too big for any of this nonsense? But yeah, another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'm out. Peace.